Nearly 2 decades into her career, Julie Taymor was an artist who confronted the dark side of humanity.
In Oedipus Rex, I sing the role of Jocasta, who is the wife and mother in question in this opera. At this point in the story, we are talking about the death of my husband that was probably caused by my son, with whom I'm probably in love. It's a mess.
If you look at all the great artworks, all of these great artists have always dealt with the most horrific events in human life. And you have to, because that's an exorcism. If you put a lid on nature, it will become perverse.
I remember being amazed at what Julie did with Oedipus. I've seen the art become increasingly complex in that it takes an idea, but then that idea grows and expands.
Julie Taymor's first feature-length film was Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus, a disturbing tale of revenge between a soldier and a queen, and Shakespeare's most violent play.
She knew that this was about violence, and she knew it very deeply.
Lend me thy hand, I will give thee mine.
I think race and violence are the two biggest thorns in the American psyche. They're not to go away because violence is a part of being human. It's something we have to come to terms with. What Titus is really about is that your next door neighbor, your father, your uncle, your mother, your brother, have within them the potential to be incredibly violent. It's about when you harbor hatred, how it can be manipulated and used to cause extraordinary violence. I wanted to work with great language. I wanted to work with superb actors and really have the actors be the driving force and the thing that you would really follow.
It's nobility's true badge. Praise me, Uncle Titus. Spare my firstborn son.
I always find that if it's a great artist, like Norman, Jesse Norman, or Hopkins Lang, they're willing to take chances.
Ah! You are deceived for what I mean to do. See here, it's bloody line.
And I'm sure at times Hopkins felt that I was stepping over the line.
I just had to slug it out with her. I said, no, this is the way I want to do it. I said, I'll fit into your vision, I'll fit into your scheme of things, but I have to work it out myself as an actor. Do you understand?
So you're speaking to the guys over there, right?
We would have that moment where he wouldn't want to listen anymore, and I would have to back off, but that's okay. And I think, in retrospect, I'm sure he feels it's okay, because otherwise you don't push people. They don't go further than what they naturally would do.
It was worth it. I think it's a remarkable film. Not everyone's taste, but I think it's one of the best Shakespearean films I've seen. I think she's going to be around as a pretty formidable director for a long time.
In her work, she incorporates images from this culture. So that, for example, in Titus, there's a character named Lavinia, and she imagined Lavinia as a Marilyn Monroe on a pedestal. It's a fantastic image.
There's something pure about her, that Marilyn Monroe white dress, and the wind is blowing her hair, and the wind is blowing her skirt up, and she's got no hands to hold them down. And I put twigs at the end of her wrists. Shakespeare inspires me to create the imagery and to try and match the level of his language. The end of this film with the child leaving the Colosseum is what it's all about. He has been there, he was a participant, he saw the horror, it's his family, it's his blood, and yet he's made a choice now, this 12-year-old boy, to leave the killing field.
For all all the darkness in her work, there is also joy. The sheer delight in letting loose with a Broadway play like The Green Bird.
Shake him up. Whoa! You know what?
Green Bird is a commedia dell'arte. What is odd is that I'm a very controlling kind of director, and yet there's something very attractive about this form that allows for the real true collaboration of the actors.
I remember it was like
the
she was
movement.
still my dove.
Yeah.
That was when she was still my. That was when she was still my little dove.
She really gives this incredible license. For instance, she and I and Derek have come up with a lot of the scene material ourselves through rehearsal and through improvisation.
Oh yeah, like why are you
I'll cheer him up on the...
Pantalone, who's the servant of the king, he's just there to make the king happy. So even if he gives the tissues or whatever, it can't just be a gag. It has to be with earnestness, and the humor has to be based in reality.
You feel power!
I've been better.
Torture him with the handkerchief in his face, and then blow your nose in it.
Well, don't scare me like that. You know I have abandonment issues. Oh, issues? Oh, issues! Oh, God bless you. Thank you.
What I adore about this is the laughter. I get an enormous amount of pleasure on the rehearsals of The Green Bird, especially with these actors, to see what they come up with. So it's not a bad way to pass your days.
When I think about how Julie Taymor has grown and changed as an artist, I'm immediately forced to think about the audience. The audience has to grow to meet Julie Taymor.
Those are the things that we keep striving for, is those stories that touch us. Something has made a person go outside of themselves and create or do something that can transform the world, that can change things. Being human is being ugly, is being dark. I mean, that is clearly there. You must face that darkness, but then what do? You always look for the beauty. You always look for the beauty, because that is the only godlike thing in being human. We all have a different idea about what that is, but the fact that we are capable of appreciating and creating something that moves our spirit is the only thing that keeps me going.